Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Everybody look left. Everybody look right. Now I gotta go listen to Lion King. All right. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Hey y'all, happy Friday. Friday, right? Happy Friday. All right, cool. Hey, good morning. Hey, boo. What's up, y'all? Ooh, let me get my charges together. Hold on. Let me get them together now. Y'all know I can get the talking. All right. That one's good. Let's do this one. Okay. How y'all doing on this Good Friday? It's Friday, y'all. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. All right, let's get into this read. Hello, hello. How you doing? Well, welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afrozine, and today I'm reading for the beautiful, handsome collective. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me today on this live stream. It is truly appreciated. You are truly appreciated. I am so grateful for each and every one of you guys that do support me. Thank you so much. Thank you for the tips, the shares, the donations, the commentary, and even you being here. Again, it is truly appreciated. Don't forget to purchase this book here, Wisdom Beyond Wounds, readily available for purchase on Amazon.com. It was written by me to help and assist the collective through all of your, your traumas that you may have experienced and you don't know where to turn or you don't know how to get out of the situation. So definitely make sure you support me by grabbing this book, and thank you so much. Okay, now let's get into this read. Channel message is, so I have a few variations, but I'll just put it this way. So they put you on a pedestal and now they're mad that you won't get off the pedestal that they placed you on, but we're going to break that down further. Okay, another variation that I put down was the pedestal was never respect. It was a setup for your fall. So someone at one point in time, you know how some people, when you first meet someone, they're all for you, they're supporting you because they think that you guys are on the same playing level. But then when time passes and when your success starts to become even bigger, more noticeable or visible, they tend to start to kind of pull back because that's not where they had you within their mind. They're already assumed and more so preconceived you to be in a space that you would never ever be able to successfully get ahead of them. Anyways, that's definitely surrounding competition. And again, you're not in competition with anyone, if that makes sense. So they create a version of you that served their insecurity. Now they're furious. You won't shrink to maintain it. It doesn't make sense because how is it that, and this is collectively generally speaking, how is it that someone sees you for the first time or wanting to connect with you and they, again, they think that everything is a-okay as long as you don't surpass them. But the moment that your achievements or your accomplishments become very loud or again, very visible for not only for you to see, but for them to see, this is when they want to start to change or shift the dynamic of the connection or the situation at hand. So they're very upset at you that even though and even so they placed you on a pedestal, no one told them to do that. They chose to do that on their own. If that makes sense. And now they're furious because you won't shrink to maintain the preconceived foolish notion that they have surrounding you. So the pedestal was never admiration. This is what they wanted you to think or what they wanted you to assume here, that they did admire you. And it wasn't like that. It was control disguised as elevation, right? So they positioned you as above so they could study you, obsess over you, and secretly wait for your fall. But the secrecy surrounding the fall was them being the secret to make you fall. If that makes sense, let me repeat that. The pedestal was never admiration. It was control disguised as elevation. They positioned you above or above them so they could study you, obsess over you, and then secretly wait for your fall. So they wanted to study you, they wanted to obsess over you, and the moment that they felt like that they have gained enough intel or information surrounding you, well, then they're going to secretly try to sabotage you to make you fall and then take your place as if they were the one that was always on top or were always on the pedestal. That makes sense? So the higher they placed you, the more satisfying it felt to them to imagine knocking you down. But they didn't knock you down because, again, no one told them to mentally put or place you on a pedestal. That's their problem. So you're not, or your consistency ruins that plan. You're not performing for their expectations. So the pedestal becomes a prison they built for themselves, not you. So it's shit. So your refusal to step down exposes their need for you to become smaller than them. But yet again, you were never made to play small. You were never made to be small, period. If that makes sense. So they don't actually want you to be elevated. They want access to your fall because they want to be the one that is seen as the person who made you fall. But again, they're not going to do this publicly. They're going to do this very secretive and secretly. And what they're going to do is they're going to utilize your connections, because this is how they get close to you when we're talking about proximity. They get close to you to adapt all of your qualities and your characteristics and your personalities. They adapt all of your social connections as well too. They get them successfully to break away or disconnect from you, and then wham, they're supposed to make you fall or come off this so-called pedestal that they place within their mind. Now, when that doesn't work, of course, so when you stay grounded, stay defined, and also unmoved, it forces them to confront that they never had authority over your identity. They didn't. They tried to take your identity, but no one can take your identity because no one can be you. So their anger isn't about you being too much. It's about you being uncontrollable. And again, because mentally they think that they could have control you, this is why people do things in a mental way. This is why they are considered mentally unwell, mental instability, if that makes sense. It's just the type of things people will do just to justify why you should take a fall. Why should you fall? Why? At one point in time, why should you fall? Because another person thought highly of you. And really, they didn't think highly of you. They wanted you to think that they thought that way about you so they can get close to you. So again, people wear many different masks and many different emotional faces. They hide a lot so that way they can get whatever it is that they want to get. They try to play you close. And when they did get close to you, they realized that you was not the 2 or the 3. You're going to always be the one. And they're learning the hard way not to fuck with you. It is what it is. So let's see what the see what the Kipper has to say. So false person, and that's exactly what they are, is a false person, but mad at you because you see them for being the false person that they are exhibiting to you. How can they be mad at you for them being the false person? And you see them as the false person, so they're angry at you because they can't control you because you see them as the false person? Can we make this make sense? Why do we have to continuously fighting with nonsensical fools? Because that's what they are. They're a false fool. I said it. They're a false fool. That's impoverished within their mind. And expect for you to not only accept their impoverished mind, but to also validate it. You don't have to do any of those things because that's not where your mind is. That's not how your mind operates. If that makes sense. Well, I told everyone about you, and I told them, no one told them to do that. They only did that because they thought they were getting something at the end, the biggest pot, which is you. They thought they hit the jackpot with you by, again, getting close to you, by, again, being in proximity, close proximity towards you or close to you to see you fall. And they thought they were going to get cool points for putting you in a predicament or a pickle to see you actually fall. Man, get out of here with that, bro. That's mental. That's mental unwellness is what that is. And then, of course, they're going to go and they're going to blame you. Oh, this is the reason why I'm not successful. You're the reason why I failed. No, none of that is your fault. Okay? Most people, all they have are just words, yet again. And sometimes those words are made with nothing but survival words or skills. And a person that has lived in a constant state or a constant living of surviving, that's all they're going to use. They may have the gift of gab surrounding surviving. They may be very sly with their words surrounding surviving. So they're going to utilize that. Again, people can only treat you based on the level of experience that they have experienced in life. And all this person has experienced thus far, so far, is surviving. That's why they're mad at you, because you are thriving after them trying to put you in a survival space or state in the same way that they are. Again, that's why they initially put you on the pedestal in the first place. Yes, it backfired. Wealthy man is in reverse. Message of concern is upright. Take these messages how it resonates. Wealthy man is in reverse. So it could be a man here. You could be a man going through this, or you could be a woman going through this. Take it how it resonates. But there's a low vibrational, negative, toxic man that was once wealthy. It could be actual physical wealth, meaning they had a lot of money. They maybe could have just been a thousandaire. Hell, maybe they were a millionaire. I don't know. Take it how it resonates. But they had some form of accumulation of wealth that they love to spread around, or they love to poppycock, or more so show off their wealth, because everything is very physical for them. Now, the physicalities that you've not only introduced to this person, they were very shocked by it, because they never seen someone that had all of their things together, meaning their mind, their body, and their soul. You have your things together, or soon to, or you were in a space where you had it enough together where you can successfully be who you need to be, or who you want to be authentically. Your authenticity was, again, a shocker to them, because they never seen or experienced anyone like you. So it made them become very intimidated by you. But again, they could not show you or exhibit that to you visibly, that they were highly intimidated by you. So they thought, let's put them on a pedestal. Let's put the collective on a pedestal. Let me just kind of play this game for a bit, if that makes sense. And they thought that you were going to join in on the game by allowing them to have that close proximity towards you. But you weren't playing the game, because you don't play games. That's not how your mind thinks. Okay? But anywho, most people, they have our games out here. And because they so-called strategize this whole game from the beginning, the middle, and the end, that if they put you on a pedestal for a little while, let me grab all that I can from the collective here. And okay, now they doing too much. Yeah, no, they too successful for me. Yeah, I don't like the way they're moving. Nah, they getting all that in this short period of time. Nah, what the hell's going on? So now they're trying to do the same pedestal mentally that they place you on. Now they're trying to yank it from you. But you have your own pedestal that you place yourself on. That's why you didn't fall, or that's why you didn't fail in the way that they thought that you were. So not only did this wealthy man, or this poor person, because they're poor, even though someone may have physical money or currency or whatever, doesn't make them wealthy or doesn't make them rich. They were never rich in spirit. They were just rich in physical money. And that could be taken away from anyone at any time. It happened to you guys. Your physicalities of your actual finances were once taken away from you, but you were still, and still are, spiritually wealthy. They don't have that. That right there separates you from them. They don't have that. Which is why you could and always can successfully replenish yourself, because of the wealth of self. As I mentioned to you guys before, if you want to be successful in life, you have to learn who you are. There's no fluff. There's no hidden anything. That's the truth. And a lot of people can't accept that or refuse to accept that because they refuse to accept themselves. This person here, low vibrational wealthy man, refused to accept themselves, that they're not the best of anything. That is the truth. You got to stop sugarcoating things for people that want you to play it safe. Stop playing it safe with these MFers. Because clearly, look what they're doing. They don't play it safe with you. So why are you trying to play it safe with truth or who you are? If that makes sense. And when I say truth, I'm speaking about you individualistically is who I'm speaking about. Don't play it safe when it comes to your authenticity. Don't play it safe when it comes to the spirit of the wealth of your spirit, of your soul. That's for you. That's specifically made and catered for you and to you. That makes sense. Don't dim your light for nobody. Because that's exactly what this person did. They dimmed the light. They dimmed their light to place you on a mental pedestal. And mad at you because you won't stay or you won't lower yourself surrounding the mental pedestal they placed you on. My ear is ringing. Incoming message. Incoming. Hold on, y'all. Damn, that was loud. Anywho, they created a version of you that served their insecurity. Hey, Jenny. Now they're furious. You won't shrink to maintain it. I put you up here and you going past where I put you. You need to come off that pedestal. Negative. No. Keep moving forward. Keep being successful. Again, the pedestal was never admiration. It was control disguised as elevation. It was control disguised as elevation. You think they're going to do all that for nothing? Nah, bruh. They always got something up their dirty sleeve. They're going to get something out of it, so they think or assume. And then when all the smoke clears or all the illusion clears, they're like, damn it, what the hell happened here? They're not as smart as they look, man. That's why they do things secretly. Come on, man. So they positioned you as above, only so they could study you, obsess over you. They thought highly of you. That's why you were on the pedestal. What do you think a pedestal is? It's a high contraption of something. This is metaphorically speaking, or physically too. But that's what they did. So they could study you from a higher point of view, higher perspective, because they're down here. You're up here. And in order for you to be successful, you have to climb. You have to grow in order for you to be successful. They thought because they were down here and you were up here, that you would stay here because that's where they had you capped off, if that makes sense. That's where they had you capped off. You're not supposed to move here because that's where they put you mentally. So they're trying to come up to you and you keep raising the bar. Shit. All right, let me try it again. They keep trying to come up to you and you keep raising the bar. They're going to try again. What the fuck is going on? They keep trying. Every time they keep trying to come up to you, you keep raising the bar. You don't think that's not going to make them upset or irate or angry? So now they're mad at you because you won't get off this pedestal. You didn't put yourself there. They placed you there. So why should you stop your shine or stop your success from flourishing because they had you at a certain space in their warped mind? Make it make sense, man. Make this make sense. Make it make sense. You want me to stop growing because you can't grow on your own terms? Well, yeah. Hell nah. Okay, I'll take your question. Francesca AWC asks on Instagram, why do they care? Because of your relevance, babe. Your relevance. That's why they care. Your relevance is everything. All that in a bag of chips and a soda on the side. Let's break that down. Your relevance brings forth great reputation. Your relevance brings forth a great personality that you exude. Your relevance brings forth success that they cannot successfully do on their own. And many of the things, of course, that's why they care, because they want something that you have, relevance. That's why they put you on the pedestal in the first place. Vibe, Stamp States on Instagram. Vibe, absolutely. That's another one as well too. They love your vibe, but they don't love your vibe on you. They want your vibe on them. That's why they care. That's why they're doing all of this. So actually, thank you for asking that question. But again, they won't tell you that verbatim. They can't verbally say, hey, I like you, or hey, I think you're awesome, or hey, you know, whatever. They can't tell you that because they have other notions, or they had other expectations, or they have ill intent. I do agree. So 1 a.m. Fredo states on Instagram, but it makes them look unintelligent by going against it. I agree. I agree with you. But let you can't tell them that. They see what I mean? They're not intelligent. They're not. Why are you fighting with people that are not intelligent of themselves? Big difference between book intelligence and actual logical intelligence, emotional intelligence. They don't have any. They're just going by based on what they see or what they experience surrounding other people. Okay, all right, well, they're doing it. Okay, maybe I can do it. And sometimes that's just not the way life works. Again, we all could be in the same niche, the same category, on the same path, but we're gonna have to do something slightly different to make sure that path is specifically solely made for us. They want to do exactly everything that you do and then claim it as if they did it. That's why they're here. That's why they're here with no money of self. They don't have physical money, and they don't have the spiritual wealth of self. That's why it's a message of concern. That's why they're impoverished. That's why they're being seen as the false person. Because all they were led with, or all they led with, was the physical currency or the physicalities of the finances that they thought was going to make them be very successful. Again, at some point in time in life, you may have lost some form of finances, but you did not lose the spiritual wealth. You didn't. That's the judgment. That's why you can replenish yourself, and they can't, and they're mad at you. Oh well, that's on them. Stop sugarcoating your success for foolish people. Stop sugarcoating, stop dimming your light or your life for foolish people. Stop doing that. That's a disservice to you. It's not beneficial to you. You're going to put yourself at a disadvantage while you're continuously being around people that, number one, don't mean you no good, and then number two, can't do what you do. If you realize that you are connected to an individual that can't love on themselves, that's a person that you cannot be around, or you should not be around. Because if you are able to successfully love yourself, and you are successful in your own right, and you're dealing or connecting with another person who can't do what you do, that's not the right person for you. Take that how that resonates. So now the changes are immense, or it's a lot that they can't handle. Again, you're here. Y'all may have started here, maybe slightly here. This is you. This is them. Success. They get a little bit success because they paying attention to you. But all they're paying attention to the things that you already succeeded at. You're here, they're here. You successfully crossed the finish line over whatever. Let's say you made extra money. You got a new job, whatever. Now you're going up higher. Now what you've already succeeded, they're following that blueprint. And they're going to keep following it. But they're trying to come here and leave you here. Hell nah. You are the blueprint. How in the hell can they try to destroy the original blueprint, which is you? Make this make sense. So they're fighting with you to put you back down here when you already were there. So why are you dimming yourself for somebody that's not taking care of themselves? That's my question. Why are you dimming your light for dark people? That's my question. Why are you hanging on and waiting for people that don't have their shit together? That is my question. If they don't have their shit together, that's a them issue, not a you issue. Again, spiritual wealth versus physical wealth is not the same. Most people have social media and they're going to portray a certain type of image to come off as if they are actually here. And that's fine. But when you get close to them or you connect with them, you realize like, yo, bro, that's all you got. You don't even have no spiritual wealth, man. I ain't kind of trying to connect with that. Because again, life gives us many tests, curves, exams, quizzes. And sometimes you lose things in life. Now, when you're in that space or moment when you lose something or someone in life, can you bounce back from that thing or that person or that place that you may have lost? That is the question. Can you? Yeah, you can. You have the wealth, the spiritual wealth of self. Yes, you can. But if a person is only parading or perusing surrounding financial physicalities of the money and that's all they have, but once they lose it, they can't find themselves. This is why they look like this. A false person. They don't have it together. You know how many things I lost? I lost a lot of things. I lost a house. I lost a car. I lost a lot. I lost a lot, but I got it back. How did I get it back? My spiritual wealth. Despite people laughing at me and goofing off at me and gossiping about me, I'm in a bigger, better, higher altitude of success that they have never ever seen before. And they have nothing to say now because they can't do the work that I'm doing, taking care of self. Does that make sense? So now they're in a space of not having money, physical and also spiritual. They don't know what to do with themselves. So yet again, here they go, trying to blame you for why they can't be successful. And it's not your fault. It's not. False person, poverty, message of concern, a wealthy man in reverse. Low vibrational man, of course, take it how it resonates. Judication is upright and change is upright. They can't handle the changes of them being broke spiritually. That's their problem. They can't handle the physicalities or the changes surrounding the physicalities of their spiritual self. That is not your issue. That is not your problem. It's not. It's not. That's on them. It's a main male, however, it could be a brother, a friend, a best friend, a boyfriend, a lover, ex-spouse, whoever, however, okay? Courthouse is here too. It could be a spiritual court, it could be physical court. It really don't matter which type of court they're going to lose. So if they're thinking that they're going to take you to court spiritually, they already lost that battle. They don't have any spiritual back. They have no spiritual backing. They have no spiritual protection. So if they don't have any spiritual backing or any spiritual protection, what makes you think they're going to beat you physically in court? What comes up must come down. They can't even pray themselves out of a wet paper bag. Who in the flying do they think they're playing with when it comes to the collective? Do you understand your power? I'm going to keep asking until it sticks. Collective, do you understand your power? Do you understand your relevance? Your relevance is a big deal. And you need to act like you are that big deal because you are. How you know that? You're putting in the work, babe. You're putting in all of the work to ensure that you will become, or you will be successful, or you're becoming successful. And success, of course, can be looked in many different ways. Don't allow anyone to muddy your prevalence, or sorry, not prevalence, relevance. But your relevance is prevalent. That's another way to look at it. That's the truth. No one should be laughing at you when they can't do what you did. A lot of you guys been through some horrific experiences. You think they can sit in that? Well, clearly they're sitting in it now and they can't handle it. Baby, what does that tell you about you? Again, do you know your power? Do you know your relevance? Stop playing. Okay? Shit. Stop playing. All right? Again, they were expecting you. Here's you. Here's them. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get up to, I'm going to pass the collective. Yup. Yup. Yeah, I know the collective. They ain't going to be able to do what I'm doing. Da, da, da. And you're like, okay, la-di-da. And you just keep climbing. And you climbing rapidly because you in your own lane. You minding your business. And you utilizing your relevance of self, the wealth of self. And you just, shoom, taking off. Minding your business in your own lane. And they're looking at you flabbergasted like, what the I can't keep up with them. Why they doing that? So this is why they become so agitated with you. They want to bully you for putting you in the place that they should have never put you in the first place. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Your refusal to step down exposes their need for you to become smaller than them. You were not placed in this life, in this world, to play small. I don't care what background you come from. What your job or occupation is, what your life purpose is. You did not come to this world to play small. Play big, go hard. You don't have to prove anything to anyone but self. That's the truth. They want you to prove to them why you should remain on a pedestal. Negative. They place you there. That's why they want the explanation. I'm not going to explain to you as to why you put me in your mental pedestal. That doesn't make sense to me. I didn't tell you to put me there. There's plenty of people, and I'll speak for me, from my perspective. There are a lot of people that I'm super inspired by that's doing even better than me. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. And I'm cheering them on and I'm clapping for them because I love to see other people do well because we all can do well. That's how my mind works. That's how my mind functions. I'm not going to look like, oh, you think I ain't got time for shit like that. You doing well? All right, go ahead, sis. Oh, go ahead, bro. All right, I see. You know what I mean? I like good stuff. I like great stuff like that. You know what I mean? I say all that to say, there are plenty of people that I'm inspired by. And I'm like, okay, yeah. All right, cool. Okay, yeah, I could do that, but I don't copy everything, every little thing. No, I take little things or parts that do inspire me. And I'm like, okay, well, how can I make this into my own? And I also give credit to, that's another thing I do. I give credit to the ones who inspired me, if that makes sense. They want you to live and compete in a dog-eat-dog world. And then get mad at you that they mentally place you in that dog-eat-dog world. And you refuse to play in that dog-eat-dog world game. Man, get the fuck out of here, bruh. Get out of here. I ain't got time for that. Get out of here. I ain't got time. Hell no, I ain't got time. I don't have time. No. I made a pose. Let me go back to my pose because I was real cerebral this morning. Hold on. Let me see what I have wrote. I said there are a lot of people out here who aren't healing. They're studying you, copying your language, mirroring your awareness, and calling it growth. How would that be growth when you're just copying everything from you? So what happens when you disconnect or you veer off or you do something completely different and they try to follow you surrounding the same thing that you have completely branched off new it to? They can't handle it. Now they're upset at you. Make it make sense, man. Healing changes your patterns. Mimicking just upgrades the mask. Pay attention. One transforms in silence. That's you guys. The other performs for validation. Are you living life or are you performing for life? Big difference. That's a question you should ask yourself. Are you living in life? Not surviving. We're not in survival mode. We're getting out of survival mode. We're in thriving mode. No matter how long it takes us, as long as we're in the right direction to thrive, that's where we are. So the question here is, are you living and thriving in life? Or are you performing for validation, for survival of life? Which one? And I hope and pray that you are living and thriving in life. Next thing. This may trigger some of y'all. I'm coming from a good space. But triggers need to be happening in order for you to shift and change. I'm not coming from a harsh space in my heart. I want to make that very clear. But this needs to be said. It was never your turn to clean up their mess. It was never your turn to clean up their mess. They handed you chaos and called it love. They handed you dysfunction and called it family. It don't have to be your family. It could be your ex-lovers, or if you have kids with take it how it resonates. They called it consequences and called it responsibility. Every time you stepped in to fix what you didn't break, you trained them to avoid accountability while slowly abandoning yourself in the process. They put you on a pedestal. They don't like the fact that you surpassed the cap of the pedestal that they place you on. So you just keep rising and rising. Who the hell in the ride? I can't keep up with the clip. Why they always gotta show up and you ain't doing none of that stuff. But yet here they come again trying to think that, well, since they put you there, that they can bring you down or they can yank you down. No fucking way, man. No way. No way. Do not abandon yourself for anybody. Nobody. If they don't love themselves, get the hell away from them. That's a hard pill to swallow. But it's the truth. Because at the end of the day, or the end of this so-called mental game that they're playing, if they see you loving yourself and they see that they can't love themselves the way that you love yourself, they're going to drag you down. They're going to try to destroy you. They're going to try to kick you off the pedestal that they first placed you on. Make it make sense. You're not dealing with sensical individuals. They're nonsensical is what they are. Nonsensical. One more. Okay. You're not waiting on answers. This is surrounding healing. So if you are having trouble with healing, I'm going to give you a gem. You're not waiting on answers. You're avoiding the place they live in regards to the answer to you healing or healing from a situation or whatever. However, you keep telling yourself you need closure, clarity, and explanation, something to finally make it all make sense. But the truth is harsher than that. The answers you're searching for aren't outside of you. They're buried inside the same trauma or the very trauma that you keep trying to bypass, numb, or intellectualize. You don't release trauma first and then receive answers like a reward. No, sir. No, ma'am. It does not work like that. That's where they are. That's the position that they're in. Let me release this trauma first and then get the answers. No. You have to face it head on. So the answers reveal themselves the moment you stop running, the moment you sit in long enough to see it clearly, without distortion, without defense. They have both distortion and defense. That's why they cannot literally see their way. That's why they cannot successfully be successful. So every pattern you repeat, every trigger you can't explain, every reaction that feels bigger than the moment, that's the answer trying to surface. That's the gem. You just haven't stayed long enough to hear it without trying to escape. You're not confused. Divine Collective, you're not confused. You're avoiding direct contact with what actually happened. Take that how that resonates. Take it how it resonates. So now we have the deeper T surrounding this false person. Yet again, they can't stand it. Oh well. They should have never given you the blueprint as to who they were. They did not want you to understand them. They should have stayed away from you. They want you to misunderstand them so they can keep you in a space of confusion. If you don't understand something, you're going to be confused, not so? If you don't have clarity about a situation or circumstances, you're going to remain confused, not so? So they gave you the blueprint as to who they are, and you finally was able to sit down and understand why things were happening the way that is happening. That's why they're being seen as the false person. That's their fault, not yours. They should have left you alone. Again, they're not intelligent. They're not. They're not intelligent at all. They're just not. Tell me about the poverty. Once again, now they're stuck in the poverty, in the impoverished mindset, with no spiritual tools, with no spiritual guidance. But it's your fault because you have the spiritual tools and you have the spiritual guidance. It's your fault. They don't know God. It's your fault. They don't know the Creator. It's your fault. They don't have a higher connection to whatever entity, deity, whatever, however. Everybody do something different. Take it however it states. It's just your fault. And it makes no sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. So they're stuck in this impoverished, delusioned, distorted mind that they can't do anything about. They can't do anything with it. So now they're in a space where things are dying down. This is my funeral dress. Things are dying down for them, which is now becoming a message of concern for them because all of their fruits of their so-called labor didn't bear anything for them. The tree is 100% bare. Nothing. Nada, zilch. Zero. Shit. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. It's nothing on this tree. And that's because of them. If they weren't so worried trying to put you on a pedestal, maybe they could have tended themselves or their life, and maybe their tree could have bared some fruit. But it did not. Wealthy man in reverse. So take that how that resonates. All right, let's keep moving forward. Good morning. All right, let's keep moving forward. Judication. Judication. The soul is in reverse. Good morning. The soul is in reverse. That's the final judgment. Let's think of this as spiritual court. God, creator, divine. God, creator, divine. Plaintiff and defendant. They want you to be the defendant, of course. Okay, cool. You can be the defendant. Okay. They're the plaintiff. They got issues. They're complaining to God or creator about you, or they just complaining in general. They're projecting, basically. And if you understand how universal laws work, what you project is what you receive back. So the collector, yeah, and they ain't, and it's their fault, it's their fault, yeah. Here's you. You're the defendant, they're the plaintiff. And they're making all these crazy behind accusations, but not realizing that their vibrations of their hate is not only being felt, but also being heard. So it's like, all right, you want the collective's heart to be weighed? Okay, no problem. Well, if you want the collective's heart to be weighed, you know their heart got to be weighed too, right? Oh, they don't want that. They don't want to be judged, but they want to judge you. Judge you because they weren't able to successfully take you off the mental pedestal that they initially placed you in the first place. They're exhausting. They're insufferable. These narcissistic parasites are insufferable. 100%. How did it get to being insufferable? Because they can't trick you anymore. They were always insufferable. You just couldn't see it at the time. Or maybe it wasn't ready for you to be seen or shown who they truly were. Things come in strides when it comes to the truth. Too much truth can hurt a person. That is the truth. Even as you as a truth teller or a truth seeker. Too much truth at one point in time can hurt you. That's why you got to get doses of it. Nonetheless, trickery is in reverse. So them being insufferable as they always were is now coming out for everyone to see because they no longer have any tricks up their dirty sleeves. They can no longer trick you into trying to control you by placing you in admiration of a mental pedestal that they initially placed you on. Let's make this make sense. Let's make this make sense. That's why they can't handle the changes. Your changes was the successful changes. And their changes, there's no tricks. So they don't have any tricks to change the outcome of their situation. Now they're finally being judged. Now they're finally in the place of being judged. The soul is in reverse. They don't have any soul. A soulless being or soulless person, whatever you want to call them. I just don't think they're humans. That's just me. I just don't. I don't understand how a human with a heart can do this to other people. That to me, that's not human. I'm sorry, but it's just not. It would never be to me. You can change without the trickery because you're not tricking yourself or you're not tricking anyone. That's why you can change at a drop of a dime. Dang, I lost my job. Man, all right. You may have like a side hustle. You may have other things going on. You always have a backup plan. They don't. Their backup plan at the time was nothing but trickery. Okay. Pull the tricks away. Dismantle the tricks. Destroy the tricks. All right, well, what else you got? Oh, well, it's your fault. It's the collective's fault. That's all they got, man. Get the hell up out of here with that, man. Get out of here. I ain't talking about you, collective. I'm talking about them. Get the hell up out of here with that mess. Because that's all they have. Families in reverse and praying mantises in reverse. Praying mantis is like a prayer. Family is in reverse. A family or family member, it doesn't matter who the family, mom, dad, brother, sister, uncle, cousin, grandmother, grandfather, whoever, however, your child's father, child's mother, child's aunt, uncle, cousin, grandmother, grandfather, whoever, however it resonates. Some family member was preying on your downfall and only ended up successfully preying on their downfall. Checkmate. Checkmate. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. Backstabbers. I gotta listen to that song. What they do. Now they sick to their stomach. How they gonna be? Make this shit make sense, man. How the hell they gonna be sick to their stomach when they're the one playing with tricks? You don't think someone playing with tricks will get tricked out their spot for playing with tricks? Oh yeah, I got a trick to show you. What happens if the trick doesn't plan out or play out in the way that they anticipate? Well, the trick will trick or backfire onto them. That's where we are today, surrounding these, whatever you want to call them, child. I got so many different names, I have to keep it cute. Derelicts, desolate, dusties, patooies, the cunters, however way you want to see them as. Hooligans, decrepits. Expecting you to fail. Now they sick because you didn't fail. You are not supposed to fail. If that makes sense, you're supposed to fail. Yes, you're having moments when you fail, but not when people are actually sabotaging it, generating it to sabotage you to make you fail. No, that's not natural. All of these failures that you have went through were not natural. It was pre-planned or pre-made by hateful, envy, and jealous individuals. Why haven't you failed when you've been by yourself? Why haven't you failed yet since you've been on your own path? Make it make sense. Come on. Let me pick sense out of nonsense. Have you realized that? Have you realized the probability of you failing is close to zero, maybe less than 5%, because you're in your own lane? Come on, man. Your failures were unnatural, if that makes sense. It wasn't of your own doings. Now they're here. Now they're here. Come on. Loss and fish fries. Loss after loss and fish fry after fish fry. And don't fry that cheap either. Karmic. Since you want to be high sedity in a false light. Nothing but failures and funerals. Failures and funerals because they're sick. Mentally sick, physically sick, emotionally sick, spiritually sick, psychologically sick. How is that your fault? How? Make it make sense. You're sensical. They're nonsensical. Come on now. Come on. How long I've been yapping for? All right. Take it how it resonates. You could be a Taurus going through this, or Taurus was doing this to you. You could be a Scorpio going through this, or a Scorpio was doing this to you. Take it how it resonates. Nonetheless, a low vibrational Taurus or Scorpio is emotionally exhausted because they cannot keep up with you. Oh well. Maybe they can get a lesson from Forrest Gump. He ran the whole country. He was running and jogging the whole, how many years he was running and jogging? Maybe they can get some lessons from him and how to run the pace or set the pace. We got stuck energy and sudden changes. They can't keep up. They need to call Nike. and get a good pair of sneakers. They can call Asics too. Yeah, they can call Reeboks too. They need a good pair of running sneakers if they can't keep up. Okay? They got a couple of sneaker companies they can call. Walmart got some good sneakers. Don't sleep on Walmart. Uh-huh. They sure do. Asics at Walmart, they're very comfortable. They sure is. Okay. We got stuck energy and sudden changes. So because they're stuck in their own footing, literally and figuratively, they can't handle the changes. Oh, well. That's a them issue, not a you issue. So now they angry because they're stuck. Now they want to show you Reptar. Okay. All right, no problem. I want to show you. We all know Reptar big as hell with his little ass stout arms. Hell, they could be Barney for all I care. They could be the purple dinosaur for all I care. They ain't scared nobody but them damn selves. Child, please. Aquarius, you could be an Aquarius. They could be an Aquarius. They got anxiety. Oh. Christina. Christina's not here while Christina sat right beside that man. And he blubbering in the water. He was in a wheelchair. Wasn't that man very, very, very vicious towards Christina in the Tyler Perry movie? He was very ignorant towards that lady. Very hateful. And that same said Christina nursed him back to health to a point where she got so sick and tired of him. And he fell out his wheelchair. He in the water blubbering like a fish. And he calling out for help. And Christina's not here. Christina now while she sat right there and watched him. Child, please. Now they're confused. Suffering in silence. They're nothing but a thief of joy. And thief of other things. That's why they don't look good now. They're dirty deeds. Mentally in jail and soon to be physically in jail. And not physically in jail, well, then you know the other thing. The fish fry thing. Carried by 6, judged by 12. Could be a Libra. You could be, they could be. However it resonates. It's a family. So a Libra family, maybe there are many Libras within the family dynamic. However that resonates. I don't remember, but I'll ask for everyone. What is the name of that Tyler Perry movie? If anyone can remind us, with Christina and the guy, he got real rich or so, and he was just treating her so bad. If y'all can help us out with that that movie. I do know it's by Tyler Perry, I just don't remember the name. Definitely Medea was in it, for sure. I Can Do Bad by Myself. Okay, there you go. Thank you. That's a good movie. I need to sit, or was it Diary? No, I think I Could Do Bad by Myself was with Taraji, I believe. Yes, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That was it. Diary, because Shamar Moore was in that one. Yes, thank you. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Yes. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Dreams come true. Yes. There you go. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Dreams come true. Yeah. The dreams that they wanted for you came true for them. Checkmate. I do agree. Red Violet states on YouTube, great movie of karma. I agree. 100%. I do agree. Look. Sweetie, look. Yeah. Spiritual awakening. So you are spiritually enlightened to their karma. They are spiritually enlightened to their karma transition. I'm going to end it right there. Baby, Pisces, take your rest day. Capricorn, okay. Libra, strong Libra, okay. We have Capricorn again. Cancer. Let's be humble though. Why would you tell somebody to be humble? Do you know what humble means? I'm actually glad that you said that. Why would you want anyone to be humble surrounding what they went through traumatically and very negatively? Why? Let's look up the etymology of the word humble real quick. I hate that word, but I'm just going to use it as a teaching moment. Give me a moment. I hate that word humble. The etymology of the word humble, submissive, respectful, lowly in manner, modest, not self-asserting, obedient. Obedient to who? To who? Humble is the wrong word, especially for this group. Humble is the wrong word to be using. Never ever be humble for self, ever. You're not cocky, you're confident. And if anybody feels that you are cocky, it's because they can't be confident like you. You're not the one saying that you're cocky, but if your success is there and is showing, it's going to come off as such to others, if that makes sense. So I don't agree. I actually can't stand that word. It's like telling someone who's been through a traumatic experience in life, well, you should still humble yourself because you got through it. No. Why? Be submissive to trauma? Be submissive to what people have done to you? Hell nah. Leo? Hell nah. Libra? Leo? Virgo? Sagittarius? Aries. I'm going to say one more thing and I'm going to get off of that. A lot of people, again, and no disrespect to you, so I get that. I'm not coming at you or anything like that. I got love in my heart for you, okay? Love, heart. So I just want to make an example surrounding what was stated. Now, the humble or being humble, I don't think anyone should be humble when it comes to traumas. You don't know how hard it is to be able to successfully not only break the traumas, but heal the traumas that you've encountered, that you've endured, that you've experienced, if that makes sense. And it's like telling someone that just because you got out of the hardships of life, you should still be submissive to what you've experienced of life. I don't agree with that. I just don't. I would never tell you guys that. Oh, well, you got out of that. Okay, well, you need to humble yourself. That's the most insane thing ever. And I just can't come to terms to tell myself that to any of you guys. Because trauma is very hard to beat. Yes, it is. Especially if you're doing it by yourself. Shit. And you don't have anybody to help you and assist you with that. Shit. You are supposed to be celebrated for the unnaturalness of the trauma that they place you through. You should be highlighted and you should be celebrated for being able to successfully heal those things. That's how I feel about that. And we all can agree to disagree respectfully. But I don't like that word humble. I don't. But that's okay. Everybody, again, we can all agree to disagree, and that's fine. Taurus, Pisces, think? Taurus, Aquarius, Capricorn. Take a moment, and if anytime somebody give you a word and you don't understand it, we're not going to know every word. Okay, that's just a given. You're not going to know every word in the dictionary, thesaurus, whatever. But take the time to have an etymology guide or something to go back and look at the origin of the word. Remember, people utilize words to break you at your core, which is the origin of self. If that makes sense, and if you're able to spin it from this point of view or perspective surrounding etymology, etymology is the origin or the creation of a particular word. If that makes sense. So if someone is projecting onto you a hateful word or a hateful point of view, okay, why do you say that? Let me go back. Let me go check this etymology real quick. That don't resonate with me. I'm not here. If that makes sense. People use specific words to hurt you on your core, in your core. The core is your origin of self, the creation of self. And if that word successfully hits you in your core, well, now it's going to grow. Now you're going to act and feel as what that person actually projected onto you, as if you are that, and you're not that, if that makes sense. So just a gem, okay? Go out there, be freaking great, because you owe that to yourself. Go out there and continue to thrive, because you owe that to yourself. You're not unintelligent. You are intelligent. You are. And if you haven't heard it anywhere else, you are intelligent. You're not intelligent. Don't let nobody play in your face. Okay, let me give you some flowers. Shit. Don't let nobody play in your face. Nobody. Like Keith Sweat says, don't let nobody play in your face. Shit. Okay? Nobody. All right? Y'all go out there and have a great day. I will too. Love you guys. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye. Bye, TikTok. Mwah. Love you guys. See y'all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love, love, love. See y'all.